Hi folks, and welcome to Road America. This is probably one of my top 5 circuits. I really do enjoy it around here, and I've no idea why. Anywho, we're back in the Skip Barber because, believe it or not, I've never done a track guide around here. I thought I would have done over the 4 or 5 seasons that I've been doing these now, but yeah, haven't been. So it was delightful to take this little bathtub around here again. Right, let's crack into it. You don't want to see the camera options. You want to see the options of the track conditions. We have 90. It did say 97. It just dropped down to 96. I'll put 96 up there because cooler is probably a little bit more grippy. So yeah, if it's dropping, then that will be why. The track time and date should be what we set the race session should be at, and the track usage of 45% is what I always use on these guides. Right smack bang in the middle, so if it's high usage you'll have more grip, if it's low usage you'll have less grip. The only other thing is the setup will be in my Discord, which I'll explain in a moment. The lap I'm going to actually show you is just above my head. A 233927. Now that was by far the neatest lap I've probably ever done in the Skip Barber. There was a little few tweaks that I could have made. I will notice them out, particularly at the long carousel that we well further on down here, to be honest. But yeah, I was in the 35s to start off with, then consistently, you know, mid to high 34s, and then getting quicker and quicker. And this was about, I think I had about 2 or 3 laps in the tank. It is on light fuel, so yeah, mid 34s for me I think will be a good race pace. Otherwise, above my head, I'm going to put the Discord that is on there. So the OLAP, BLAP, telemetry, replay file, and the setup will be all in there on my Skippy lap file sections. Also, that is part of a, there's a link in there under track guide schedule or something like that, that does say what track guides are coming up and when over the 4 series that I have actually covered now, 5 series actually, because I'm covering the B-Class Fix GT3. So yeah, if you are looking for a track guide, have a look on there. I've listed them all the series, and they're all in week order as well, so you can see what's coming up and what I've done in the past. The other thing I'm going to put above my head as well, might be overlap at the same time, is how I get into these sessions. So I use the UI to try and get them as close as I can, because obviously these are pre-recorded before the week goes live. So yeah, trying to get them as close as I can, and that's the best way I find. Usually I'm not a million miles away. So yeah, enough of me waffling. Let's crack on with the guide. Right then, Road America, and it's Slipstream Fest here. Not gonna lie, gonna be a lot of slipstreaming. Anyway, down into turn 1, and just before the 1 cone, probably between the 2 cone markers, if that makes sense, brake down into 4th gear and make sure you get on this curb on the apex and have a nice smooth exit. One of these corners that you can really drive it in, but then really compromise you, because if you get on that grass, that wall over there on the left hand side comes out and meets you. Not very good. Turn 2, make sure you get a good exit here. So just before the 1 board, brake in, down 2 gears into 3rd. Get the car turned in, get it hitting that apex curve, and look how early I am on throttle. You want to make sure you do that, because that's going to drag you all the way down this next straight. You can nick a little bit of dirt just there on the left-hand tyres, but any more than that, it is an off-track, so be warned. Right, long straight now. Speed up this bit, because otherwise all we're doing is basically keeping the Skippy in a straight line as best we can, and the shortest distance we can to turn 5. Turn 5 is a downhill braking zone, so make sure you get it right, and we are hunting for our brake board of the 2 and the end of the gravel trap just there. So bring the car in a straight line over to the right hand side, straddle the curb as best you can, and then 2nd gear you want. There's a little dip just on apex about there. You can see the car dip down. If you can get into that, you're pretty spot on the apex. Use all the track on the exit as well, it'll help you out. Be careful with oversteer on that little bump as well, just on apex, be warned. Radical sign on the right hand side just before the bridge. Brake off all the pedals, let the car steer in naturally, and try and get those loads of apex curb, because it helps on exit. We don't want to run too far wide, because it is easy to nip a tyre onto the grass and spear off into the wall on the left hand side. Get a good exit, because this kink of turn 7 is completely flat out, so use the curb, not too much. Again, we don't want to set the rear too much, and get a good exit down to turn 8. Downhill braking zone here, so be mindful of that. So at the 2 board, maybe just after it, brake straight line down into 2nd gear, I believe, or I've gone into 3rd. No, I keep it in 3rd. Fair play. Another little dip here again. You see the car dips into it. If you can hit that every lap, brilliant. And don't use too much on exit as well. Same principle as turn 6. Really easy to run wide, get on the grass, and have a spin. The carousel, real pain in the rear this is. So I enter it mid-track and I stay mid-track, and I try not to touch the brake because it does rotates the car a little bit too much. All I do is use the throttle. So if I'm understeering, I ease off the throttle, and then you can see here I apex a little bit too early. You need to apex and put your inside tyre right there, right on that highlighted bit all the way around, because the better you can do that, the quicker you can come off the steering in a straight line and get a better exit down here. The kink of turn 11 is flat out, but not on the first 2 laps. Do have a lift through here, definitely. Really easy on turning, and you want to kind of bite it in 2 cherries. You want to get the car turned into the apex, and then let the car settle down, and then turn in again. Really awkward to get right. Watch that back on slow-mo a few times, but yeah, first 2 laps, big lift. Be safe through there. A lot of crashes normally. It's well known to be on the Twitch clips on YouTube, but we are hunting for the 3 marker board, and at that point, braking a straight line again, all the way down into 3rd gear. You can probably get around there in a second as well, but 3rd gear, cut the apex just a little bit, mow the grass, and use all of the exit on the left-hand side. You can cut a little bit of grass, but careful because there is an off-track on that grass, so be mindful of that. We are now coming up to turns 13 and 13A. No idea which one's which. They're both straight for me. Flat out, don't even worry about them too much. Just try and hit this curb on apex best you can. If you run it too wide, you can bottom out the car and spin out again. So you want to give it a little cheeky tickle as you go past, and you'll be all golden. Last corner now, and we want to get this right. So a bit of a longer pause here. So you want to brake at the white line, but you want to brake in a straight line to that apex, or sorry, the entry curb you can see right here. If you get a tyre on it, really opens up the corner quite nicely. You can see I turn in a little bit too early, have to steer out of it. Otherwise, you're getting off track on the apex as well, but get early power as well. Long straight. This and turn 3 for the next lap. Most important corners to get right for a good lap time, because they are on to the longest straights. And obviously coming out the carousel as well through the kink is also a pretty long straight. It's all about exits, this one, as it always is with the Skippy. High apex speed and exits should give you good lap time, but that is us across the line in a 2:33.927. As mentioned, I was in the 34s quite a lot, and obviously with slipstream as well, lap times will plummet. There's a lot of places where you can leapfrog and actually work together as a team to catch up to the pack ahead. You can easily get into the 32s, if not in the 31s, with a good teammate in a slipstream bubble. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.